Hey, it's me again. I'm here to give you an update on something going on Sunday, October 9th that you are not going to want to miss out on. Each week in our Breaking Down the Walls That Divide fall worship series, we've been talking about a different wall that divides us. We've talked about education, talked about mental illness, we've talked about disabilities. In upcoming weeks, we're going to be talking about poverty. But this coming Sunday, October 9th, we're talking about sexuality. And this is a highly sensitive, highly charged, kind of contentious topic. And if you are like many, you may feel ill-equipped to be able to talk about this with your kids, with your friends, with your families. You may even feel ill-equipped to know how to talk about it or think about it yourself. So the goal of this morning is to talk about this big elephant in the room of sexuality. What does it mean? What's the acronym GLBTQ even mean? What does the scripture say about it? How are we as a church called to respond? How do we step into people's lives and be in relationship? These are all big questions that we may not solve on a single morning in a 20-minute sermon, but it's going to be a good morning, and I hope that you don't miss it. One thing that we are going to be doing is during the 11 o'clock Spiritual Growth Hour, we've invited Ginny Olson, the Director of Youth Ministries for the Northwest Conference Office, to come and lead a conversation for youth and their families and other adults who are interested too around this topic of sexuality. Ginny comes to us fresh this last month, right off of a long stint at North Park University where she was the head of the youth ministry department. She's literally written the book. It says Youth Ministry Management Tools. She's written the book on youth ministry. If I could flip this around so it wasn't mirrored in the camera, I would do that. That will be another day. Ginny gets teenagers. She gets youth. She has a really good understanding of girls, but she understands the teenage mind, social issues, developmental issues. She is a great asset to us in the Northwest Conference Office. She's a great asset to us as a denomination, and she is going to be a great asset to us on October 9th. The goal for the morning is to look at research and trends. That the topic of sexuality is a key thing that she's been researching and studying and working with in her time in Chicago, and will continue to be working with that here in the Twin Cities. But also she's going to kind of lead us in a conversation about bridging. How do we bridge contexts between generations, between youth and their parents, between situations, between yourself and your friends, yourself and your family? How do we bridge our theology and our culture? How do we start to tackle this topic of sexuality? It's not a black and white issue. There's a lot of nuances, there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of ongoing research, and it's a big can of worms that we're going to dive into. So our goal for the morning is that you would leave hopefully not feeling too overwhelmed, but that you would leave feeling equipped to have some more of these conversations with your kids, to have more of these conversations as they come up with friends, with coworkers, with family members. We're all touched by this topic of sexuality in some way, shape, or form. And it's important that we as the church and we as Christ followers are stepping into this. So our goal is to take away some of the fear, some of the unknown, and to give you tools to be able to talk about this. We're dealing with it specifically for youth because I think we'll all agree that this is a big topic for our teenagers to be dealing with. I've surveyed our kids and asked them what they are hoping that we're talking about this year, and sexuality is a big piece of what they're hoping we're talking about. It's prevalent in youth culture, it's in their movies, it's in their TV shows, it's in their music, it's everywhere. It's part of the soup that they're kind of living in day to day. So our goal is to help you, parents, help you, youth, be able to talk about this, be able to think about it better, and I think it's just going to be a great morning. I am so looking forward to it, and I really hope that you aren't going to miss out on it. So save the date, mark it on your calendars, be here for worship at 9:20, stick around for our conversation with Ginny at 11 in Upper Fellowship Hall, and I'll see you there. Have a good one.